So you married a Korean citizen and you're trying to settle down in the ROK. You know you gotta start saving money, and the safest way to do that is with a high interest savings account. You talk to some other immigrants who've married Korean citizens and hear about these special savings accounts, but the most up-to-date information you can find is from 2014. Well, stick around because this is an update on what has changed over the past 7 years and what we can expect when we find our way to the bank. You're watching Sekkider, and this is an episode on foreign spouse high interest savings accounts. Now, if you're new here, our MO is education for foreigners looking to get their money right in the Republic of Korea. So make sure you take a second to hit the like and subscribe buttons and keep up with the money tips and topics that come out in the future. Now let's get to it. I'm basing this video off a couple popular pages that have been recirculating recently. Specifically, I'm referring to posts that you can find at the Soul of Seoul at Pinay Seoulmate. I'll save you a search and link it in the description box below. In general, the information on these sites are good, as well as their recommendation to A, know what you're asking for before you go, and B, open up more than one of them if you're able to save beyond the deposit limit of your account of choice. That being said, the specifics about each account have changed significantly since the post, particularly affecting things like the interest rates as well as the maximum limits. If you want to see the old numbers, you can look below, but generally the old rates of 7.5% or 6% interest rate are not even close to what's being offered now. They've dropped drastically, as has been the case with interest rates all over the world. So stick close if you're interested and weigh your needs against what these banks are offering currently. Also, just to clarify again, these options are available to quote-unquote multicultural couples, i.e. couples that consist of one Korean citizen and one foreigner. Also, pay attention to eligibility, as 2 of the 4 options are only available to foreign wives of Korean men, as opposed to being open to all multicultural relationships, such as foreign men who are married to Korean women. Alright, let's start with the accounts that are only available for women. First is the 국민행복적금. This offering by KB allows for up to 500,000 in monthly deposits over the course of a 1-year term. So, your maximum deposit would be 6 million won per year. Their interest rate used to max out at 7.5, but that's now been reduced to either 4.85% or 3.85% depending on the account type. The higher rate is available for accounts that include automated monthly deposits. The lower applies to accounts that don't include automated deposits. The specific terms for these accounts are 자유적립식 for the higher yield automated account with automatic deposits once a month, and the 자유적립식, which is a free deposit account. On top of this, the 국민행복적금 allows for secured loans of up to 95% of the total account balance. If, however, you end the contract early and close the account before its maturity, you'll reduce your interest to only 0.1%, so only commit if you know that you can commit. This information is accurate for right now and applies to a 1-year period of October 12, 2020 to October 12, 2021. So if you apply for it within that range, those are the rules. Alright, next up is IBK or 기업은행, and their account is called the 사랑나눔적금. This account is also restricted to immigrant wives, and it also allows for up to 500,000 won per month, but it only pays out 3.3% upon maturity. Early termination yields a progressive rate depending on how much time has passed since you opened the account. The scale of it is available through the link in the description box, and this information is accurate as of September 11, 2020 through September 11, 2021. Now, both of the sites that referenced these accounts mentioned the KEB 전사나눔적금, which yielded up to 7.5% for a 3-year account, but that particular account has, according to the website, been discontinued since 2019. So, sorry about that. Finally, these are the options that are open to foreign spouses regardless of gender. You have the Shinhan 희망드림적금 and the Woori 희망드림적금. Starting with the Shinhan account, you're allowed up to 200,000 won per month, and it yields a base interest of 2.2% with an additional 1.5% if you add in monthly auto transfer, just like the KB account. That adds up to 3.7% if you complete the 3-year term. It also enables a secured loan of up to 95% for the account balance, but it restricts early termination or withdrawals. Finally, we have the Woori account. This account is a 1-year term yielding 4% upon maturity and limited to 200,000 per month. Like the Shinhan account, this account allows for application for foreign spouses regardless of gender. These accounts for the most part include but are not limited to foreign spouses. For example, the IBK account is available to socioeconomically disadvantaged groups such as the disabled, single-parent families, welfare recipients, the elderly age 65 or older, or North Korean defectors. If you know anyone that could benefit from these accounts, it may be helpful to let them know. We're all about sharing knowledge here. Now for the biggest question. Is it worth it? Well, that depends on your goals, your current financial standing, and your safety net. We mentioned in our last video that a standard safety net usually consists of enough funds that you could lose your job and not have to worry about money for 3 to 12 months. This is where savings outshine investments. See, while investments can perpetually build themselves through dividends and growth, the only way to actually access the money would be either to take the dividends out or to sell the assets themselves. Now, if, let's say, the market is in a bubble and it pops, then the housing market bubble pops, causing the debt bubble to pop, and the squeeze forces you out of your job and you have to sell your assets to hold you over until you get a new one. Well, you'll necessarily have to sell out of your positions, which at that point would be at a loss due to the multi-layer market crash. Conversely, if you decided to preserve some of your wealth in cash through savings accounts, you would not have to sell any of your assets and you could live off the money that you saved just for that particular purpose. Also, you could have money to buy low in the market if you didn't think that the downturn would last for too long. So, if you're looking to build up your emergency savings or you want to sit on cash since you can't trust the market at the moment, then these savings accounts would be completely worth it since they're the highest interest you can make without jeopardizing your liquidity. Want to save more than the maximum limit? Well, even though you're limited to just one of each account per person, you can still open one of each account for yourself. When doing so, you would obviously have to consider your cash flows and the timing to make sure that you don't oversave and screw yourself for the month, but that's one of those good problems, I think. Simply put, for foreign spouses to Korean citizens, these saving accounts are here to help you make more off of your savings in your adopted country. As you can tell by the target market of these accounts, the purpose is mainly to assist those who may be otherwise socioeconomically disadvantaged. Even if that's not you, it's not like having the account takes this kind of savings account away from somebody else. So, simply put, if you're eligible for it, I don't see why you wouldn't want this kind of savings account in your money system since, at its core, it's really just a regular savings account that provides a better than average return on deposit. If you don't know what to do with the money once it matures, you could always open up a regular unlimited savings account with low interest returns, or an additional liquidity account, and then deposit the sum of your matured savings into that free account before re-ing up on another spouse account. But as long as interest rates remain low, there's no reason not to go for the accounts with the highest guaranteed return. If you already have enough in your savings and you're really just chasing returns, at this point in time nothing is beating the stock market. Still, if the market comes crashing down around us, the old saying will ring true. Cash is king. So even if you're putting your money away in funds and stocks, shoving an extra 100k or 2 into a high interest savings account is still probably in your best interest. But that's all up to you. It's your money. Alright, that's it from me today. I hope you learned something. If you know anybody who could benefit from this information or who would like to know it, then please feel free to share. Also, I just want to say that while inflation is really low, it's not that bad of an idea to just open up a savings account since you know that the return is going to beat inflation. And ultimately, that's what we're trying to do in the preservation of our money. Alright, that's it from me. For real this time. Go check out the new episodes on This Korean Life. Go check out the new layout on Hanggang Magazine. And we'll see you next week.